Good evening. Welcome to North West Tonight with Annabelle Tiffin. Our top story. Life sentences for two men who planned a gun attack on a mass gathering of Jewish people in Manchester.
I am Mancunian. I've lived here my entire life. I'm a Manchester United fan, always have been. So this is where I feel like I belong. But at the same time, it's not safe for us.
The men were caught by an undercover operative. Also tonight, Julie has terminal cancer but can't afford to make memories with her family because of civil service pension delays.
I needed to plan my own funeral. I can't do that. I can't put things in place because I haven't got the money to do it.
And I'm in northern France at Europe's most advanced urban warfare training facility. More than 100 Northwest soldiers are here. Keep watching to find out why.
Helping species thrive, Chester Zoo is recognised for its role in rare plant conservation.
And roses are red, violets are blue, and do you know what else is blue? The skies this Valentine's Day. Join me at the end of the programme. I'll have the full forecast for you.
Two men have been given life sentences for planning what likely would have been one of the deadliest terrorist attacks ever carried out on British soil. Waleed Sadawi and Ammar Hussein aimed to cause untold harm with an Islamic State-inspired gun attack on a mass gathering of Jews in Manchester. It follows a rise in anti-Semitism towards Jewish communities, as Yunus Muller reports.
Yoni Finlay was injured when police responded to an attack on a synagogue that killed two people last year. The father of three feared a rising anti-Semitism. The previous year, he marched against it, including what he didn't know then, at a gathering originally planned for the summer of 2024. Waleed Sadawi and Ammar Hussein were preparing a gun attack on a defenceless crowd of thousands.
Wherever we go out and whenever we go to communal events, such as a march, such as a protest, there is that fear that somebody's going to attack us.
Waleed Sadawi was arrested in a Bolton car park. The weapons and ammunition in the boot were put there and deactivated as part of an undercover operation.
High calibre weapons, capable of firing multiple shots very, very quickly. In the right environment, you could have tens, if not hundreds of people could have been hurt or killed.
Sadawi's extreme posts under a fake profile alerted suspicion. An undercover operative called Farouk made contact. Evidence was gathered and Sadawi trusted Farouk to join him in mass murder. It was at great risk. Here, Sadawi and Hussein were in Dover to see how Farouk would help bring weapons into the country.
There was a significant policing operation around this work in order to do everything we could to ensure the safety of the undercover operative.
Ammar Hussein is said to have served in Saddam Hussein's army. He worked and lived in Bolton and was recruited.
Are you a supporter of ISIS?
Do you want to answer? Yes.
Their main target was a gathering like this one in January 2024. But in a secretly recorded conversation, Sadawi told Farouk he wanted to target Jewish areas north of the city centre.
As soon as the pieces arrive and they're complete, we target them at their location that's full of Jews. The schools, we open fire on them. Young, old, women, elderly, the whole lot. Killing them all. Killing them all.
We're brave and we're strong, but the answer cannot be to build higher walls and install more cameras. We need a huge package of support from people outside of our community.
I am Mancunian. I've lived here my entire life. I'm a Manchester United fan, always have been. So this is where I feel like I belong. But at the same time, it's not safe for us.
Waleed Sadawi's brother Bilal Sadawi wasn't involved in plans but knew about the plot. Waleed Sadawi and his brother Bilal Sadawi were in court to hear some of the evidence against them and to hear Mr. Justice Wall carry out his sentencing. But Ammar Hussein refused to come into court.
His cowardice in remaining in the cell rather than coming up to court to face what he has done is a true sign of his character. Brave enough to plan to threaten an unarmed group with an AK-47, but not sufficiently courageous to face up to what he has done.
Ammar Hussain will have to serve a minimum of 26 years.
Did you understand the caution?
Bilal Sadawi was sentenced to 6.
What I'm going to advise you at this moment in time is that is an undercover operative.
Walid Sadawi will have to serve a minimum of 37 years.
Whilst being very grateful for the work that the police did in stopping the attack, and particularly the brave work of the undercover officer, how many more plots are out there? How many more that we don't know about? How many more people are planning to cause damage?
All 3 men are beginning sentences. Yunus Muller, BBC Northwest Tonight, Preston.
And if you want to find out more about this case, Yunus has made a documentary about it. Undercover, Exposing a Terror Plot, is available on BBC iPlayer now. You just head to the app, type in Undercover into the search bar and you'll find it there. Now, a terminally ill woman from Wirral says delays in getting her pension is harming her quality of life. Former prison officer Julie Morton was given 12 months to live when she retired in August last year. But she hasn't received any money at all since then. Capita, which now runs the civil service pension scheme, has apologised for the delay. Andy Gill reports.
Julie Morton and her dog Ruby at home in Little Sutton near Ellesmere Port today. In 2019, Julie was diagnosed with terminal breast cancer. When she retired last August, she was told she could die within a year. But this morning she told me that since August she's had no letters or emails about her civil service pension and no money.
I'm a little bit of a control freak and I needed to plan my own funeral. I can't do that. I can't put things in place because I haven't got the money to do it. So that plays in my head all the time. So I go to bed of a night time. I don't sleep. I don't sleep till about 2-3 o'clock in the morning because things run through my head.
Julie says she spent hours on the phone trying to get a response from Capita, the outsourcing firm which took over running the civil service pension scheme from another company in November. Capita says it was expecting a backlog of 37,000 cases, but found 86,000. Yesterday, Capita's bosses were in front of the Commons Public Accounts Committee and apologised.
I'm going to reiterate an apology, and I am receiving personal emails from members of the scheme, and I'm writing back to each one myself because I think the people in the scheme deserve a better service and they've served their country, and we are not delivering what they need or deserve.
The bosses of Capita were before the Public Accounts Committee yesterday and apologised. They said the backlog was bigger than they thought. Does that apology make any difference to you?
Not one iota. How can a company be working for 2 years towards taking over and not know how bad the situation was?
Julie's been using savings and medical insurance money to pay the bills, but says she needs her pension money to get as much as she can out of the life she has left.
I wanted to take my 2 younger grandchildren to Lapland Christmas last year to see Santa, but I couldn't.
Capita told us tonight it's been in touch with Julie to resolve the matter, which it said dates back to the company that ran the scheme before it did. Andy Gill, BBC Northwest Tonight, Little Sutton.
Well, let's get a roundup of some of the day's other news. Rail passengers are being advised to plan ahead as most of Manchester Piccadilly Station will close for 9 days from tomorrow. Engineering work will get underway as part of a multi-million-pound upgrade. People travelling to London can use rail replacement buses to get to Stockport. Bus drivers on the Isle of Man will stage a 10-day walkout from next week. Members of the Unite union working for the government-owned operator Bus Vannin are striking over pay and conditions. They'll walk out from next Saturday. But meanwhile, Transport for Greater Manchester has agreed a multi-year deal with unions to stop strike action. Staff on the B network will receive a rise of 3.2% this year, and some will get a further £1,000 one-off payment. It ends a pay dispute which led to a series of strikes last year. Now, it is 100 years since Salford, where we are now, became a city. And to mark the centenary, an exhibition has opened, showcasing 100 objects from the last century, chosen by Salfordians. It's to start a year of commemorative events.
We've got an amazing community here in the city. It's really diverse, and we are delighted that people picked a very random, diverse collection of objects. So we're really, really pleased with that, but we hoped it would be quite different.
Now, soldiers from the 1st Battalion of the Duke of Lancaster's regiment are taking part in one of NATO's most specialist exercises in northern France. Soon, they'll be on high alert, ready to be deployed to Eastern Europe if required in a matter of days. Well, let's go over live to our reporter Anna Jameson, who is at the base in France. And Anna, you've been following the British forces over there. Just tell us exactly what they've been doing. How's it been going?
Yeah, well, Annabelle, it's been very intense, very high pressured, but I have to say, very impressive. 120 soldiers, which are usually based in Preston from the Forward Land Forces Strategic Reserve, have swapped Wheaton Barracks for northern France. They are 160 kilometres, that's right, north of Paris. And this place, sent up, is ginormous. 46 square miles. That is larger than the town of Burnley. But listen, this is for a serious effects, really, because, you know, these soldiers are training to fight on the eastern flank under the French army. And when they're ready, once this training exercise is complete, they could be called to Estonia in a matter of days, 35 miles from the Russian border. They're hundreds of miles from home, in conditions they've never known before.
Does he want the casualties pushing back to that building?
This is the 1st Battalion of the Duke of Lancaster Regiment, learning in one of the most specialised urban training grounds in Europe.
You get out of the TCV up there, and I just looked and I just seen this absolute city that we're in right now. I was thinking, oh my God, this is going to be nails, it's going to be hard. And it was. It's been 3 hours this whole attack's took, and we've not even got through like 10% of the village.
Oscar is 19. An amateur boxer from Lancaster.
I felt like when I was on Civvy Street, I was a carpenter and I just felt like I was worth more. There was something else I could be doing. I didn't want to waste away on a work site with do the same job my whole life. I wanted to actually do some progress, make a career out of something, you know, have a name for myself, and then I think I'm doing pretty well out here.
And this exercise is about learning French tactics. Their drills, their live fire, their terrain.
The same thing. We learn different procedures and see how the other works. So for sure it helps because at the end you look what's good in the other army and you take it back home as we can do as well.
And this exercise is about reaffirming the NATO alliance in spite of global pressures.
NATO partnership and any force working together is what makes us stronger. I think there is absolutely no chance that we're going to go in or tackle any challenge in isolation. And so we recognise the strength that comes with working as part of a partnership. And our French partners are absolutely critical to that.
"90% of this battalion are from the northwest, with troops as young as 17. And some are soaring. At just 19, last month, Millie from Blackpool was promoted to Lance Corporal.
At first, I saw French people running alongside a tank and I was like, oh my God.
Your dad, being in the military, what does he say about this?
I really wanted to follow in his footsteps, so that was a massive drive for me. And then I think the chain of command that I've had absolutely pushed me completely towards that goal.
How do you feel about the prospect of war?
It's the job. I wouldn't be much of a soldier if I wasn't, you know, if I was scared of war or dying, really. You know, it's made very clear from day one in training, you know, this is a job where you will probably die. I will go to war at some point, inevitably. It does, like, stay on your mind a bit. You're just thinking, like, wow, you know, I'm probably going to die one day, but if it means I die and innocent people don't have to, then, you know, I'd rather do that.
Well, as you can see, drones are a huge part of the warfare programme. You can hear them whizzing and whirring around the training facility all day. Just by this French armoured tank, we have Major Lance Morris. And Lance, you know, this has been a really impressive operation, but many people will be at home thinking the Russian spend on defence is huge. Can we really compete with them?
Yeah, absolutely. We absolutely in the British Army recognise the importance of working together as a team. It's what embodies the central part of the British Army, and we then therefore recognise that with cross NATO partners as well. And I think this further demonstrates this. We're here in France right now, working with our NATO partners, the French Army, showing them just how lethal and that fighting spirit of our soldiers can be. And as you saw earlier, you saw what our soldiers are about. They have absolutely embodied this. They've taken on the French weapon systems, they've employed French tactics and doctrine, as well as the French language. So this is flexibility at the heart of everything that our fighting soldiers do.
And we know that the NATO alliance has been under huge pressure globally. Trump's plans to annex Greenland, he seems to have backed away from those plans. But is the NATO alliance really united?
Absolutely. We see thousands of soldiers deployed around the world globally every month and every year. And just our unit, One Lancs, last summer were deployed in Estonia as part of Forward Land Forces. That's demonstrating to NATO and the wider Europe what it is to support Eastern European countries. And so we have soldiers there right now as well demonstrating this in cold warfare Arctic conditions.
OK, well, Lance, thank you. On Monday, you're going to be seeing what it's like on the manoeuvres, in the training operations. You won't want to miss it. Annabelle.
No, Anna, we won't. Thank you very much. Really fascinating stuff from you there. Thank you. Right, let's get some more stories being read in the Northwest this evening. It's a decade since all members of Warrington's Viola Beach died in a crash. The father of one of them, River Reeves, says the band still inspires people and his son's memory feels as vivid as ever. The RSPCA shelter in Accrington may have to close after rising costs and falling donations left it facing a major cash fall. It's been helping animals for 50 years. And archaeologists say 11,000-year-old remains found in a Cumbrian cave belong to a young girl. They say it offers a rare glimpse into a carefully tended Mesolithic burial site. Find out more at bbc.co.uk/local news or on the BBC News app. Right, we're going to move on to sport now, and as Super League celebrates its 30th year, 3 Northwest sides are about to start their seasons. Ian has them, not with us this evening in the studio, but he's out and about at a sellout Halliwell Jones Stadium as Warrington Wolves host St Helens. And I guess we're hoping it's going to fill up a bit behind you there, Ian.
Yeah, no, it is filling up very much at the minute. Welcome to the Halliwell Jones Stadium. This is where the St Helens coaching staff will be starting a short while. The crowd are actually coming in over there. We're just by the players' tunnel here, actually. This is a huge night for Warrington Wolves. This is the club's biggest home attendance for 52 years. The attendance will be, to be exact, 15,064. So a big night here. Elsewhere tonight, Lee Leopards host Lee Rhinos, while Wigan Warriors are at Castleford on Sunday. Let's now look ahead to what an expanded 14-team Super League season might look like.
Wigan Warriors went into last season's grand final hoping to become Super League champions for the 3rd year in a row, but lost to Hull KR.
I've grown up in Wigan. It's all I really know is that Wigan are expected to do well, and there's no guarantees just because of the badge that's on the shirt that you get all your own way and be in the playoffs. So I think there's clubs. We've had a few lean years. We'll be very motivated this year too.
A whole Super League season not involving Wigan Warriors lifting silverware. That's what happened last time around. That won't happen this time around. They've recruited well and they've got 1 or 2 people coming through the ranks as usual for Wigan Warriors. They will definitely be contenders.
Former Salford Red Devils head coach Paul Rowley is the new man in charge at St Helens, who underachieved again last year under Paul Wellens.
I don't recall a Super League with such fierce competition for a long time. This is a real pressure because we're well resourced, we're facilitated. It's all there. The ingredients are there to succeed.
No silverware for Saints for the last 3 consecutive seasons. That's something they've got to put right, and I think they will put right this time around. New coach as well, of course, and a brand new challenge for Paul Rowley. Not been under any real pressure at Salford for the last few seasons. This time, it could be a little bit different because of the expectation at Saints.
Sam Burgess is about to begin his 3rd season as Warrington Wolves head coach. Last season, they finished down in 8th.
Last year was a challenging year for the club. For the players, and a number of things that could have gone wrong went wrong, and then a couple more things as well. So we're just trying to be our best version every day, and hopefully over time that'll prove to be a more consistent side.
Will it be Warrington's season? Well, surely it can't be as bad as last time around, and I think they will benefit. I kind of tempted to put my head above the parapet here, and I think Warrington will be contenders. Not quite sure for what, whether it's League Leaders' Shield, Challenge Cup, Grand Finalists.
And what of 2023 Challenge Cup winners, the seemingly ever-improving Lee Leopards?
You know, we're wanting to finish obviously higher than what we've ever finished before, so 5th and 4th and 3rd last year, so you know, higher than that would be really special for us.
Arguably, you know, last season, had it not been for the brilliant success of Kingston Rovers, who did the treble, Lee would have been the story of the season last time around. We've got to remember this as well. 2022, Lee Leopards were in the championship. They're learning very quickly. They've got a very experienced coach as well in Adrian Lamb.
There's just one thing left to say.
Super League 30, let's do it!
Well, the Winter Olympics continue, and on Monday, Chorley's legendary Dave the Rocket Riding, arguably Britain's greatest ever skier, will be competing in the men's slalom. Here's Dave winning the World Cup in 2022. This will be his 5th and final Olympics. He arrived yesterday and I spoke to him earlier.
Just happy to be here, happy to still be able to do what I do, and yeah, ready to go on Monday when the time comes.
The fact you've done so well in your career, does this almost feel like a free hit in a weird kind of way, this last Winter Olympics?
Yeah, that's certainly the mindset that I'm trying to be in on Monday. I really had no expectation of still being able to do what I'm doing at 39. So that's the mindset I want to be in, where I'm not concerned about anything other than going all in.
What a guy. Well, Women's Super League leaders Manchester City host bottom club Leicester. A win will increase their lead at the top to 11 points. The men's game, Blackburn Rovers will have a new manager in charge at QPR tomorrow. Northern Ireland boss Michael O'Neill will continue his international role with the Rovers job on an interim basis until the end of the season. The FA Cup 4th round, though, takes centre stage this weekend. Here's what BBC local radio stations have to offer.
Saturday night at 8 o'clock, Liverpool take on Brighton in the 4th round of the FA Cup. It's live on Radio Merseyside and on BBC Sounds.
On Saturday, Manchester City face Salford City. On Sunday, Wigan Athletic go to Arsenal on BBC Radio Manchester.
And here in Lancashire, can Burnley build on their win at Crystal Palace on Wednesday night when they host Mansfield in the Cup? We've got the game live for you online.
So that's the FA Cup here at an increasingly noisy Halliwell Jones Stadium. It's Warrington Wolves against St Helens. It gets underway at 8, and as Jack Dearden would say, let's do it.
Let's do it indeed. Imagine how noisy it's going to be when everybody's in there as well. Good atmosphere. Ian, thank you very much. Now, Chester Zoo's long been recognised for its animal conservation and breeding programmes, but what's less well known is that it does the same with plants. Now the zoo's become the first in the UK and only the second in Europe to be granted botanical garden status, as Phil Cunliffe reports.
It's home to hundreds of animals and, to many people's surprise, thousands of exotic plants. From the spiky and waxy to the beautiful and the downright scary. While many are on public view, others at Chester Zoo are kept hidden away for conservation and research. The two things, though, that they have in common is that these plants are rare and at risk of extinction.
So this is a group of cactus called Copiapoa. They come from Chile in South America. They're very highly endangered, partly climate change, so they're on the edge anyway, living in a very, very dry place, and a little change in weather will just send them over the top. It's very important to keep on top of that and propagate these species in cultivation.
Well, they're certainly safe here, aren't they?
Yeah, hope so. So amazingly, 40% of the world's plant species are under threat to some extent. So a lot of people don't understand that. They know about endangered animals, but they don't necessarily think about plants being endangered.
Some of the plants being cared for barely exist anywhere else.
Louisa, this is a plant which comes from the same place that Cristiano Ronaldo comes from and is famous for cake. It's from Madeira. It's incredibly rare.
Very, very, very rare. It was less than 5 that occurred in the wild when we started this project.
So we've got seed from Madeira and we're trying to grow it here so we can secure a population and then get it to flower and then get seed to send back.
A number of endangered UK native trees are also being propagated, like the black poplar.
The main problem with these trees, you have separate male and female trees, and in the UK 90% of the trees are male and only 10% are female. So here at the zoo we actually take the cuttings from these, from our stock plants, and then we grow these on here at the zoo and we distribute to partners.
All this conservation work has not gone unnoticed. Chester Zoo has now been recognised as an internationally important botanic garden by the BGCI, the global organisation dedicated to plant conservation.
People don't necessarily think of zoos as conserving plants, but this will reinforce it in people's minds, and it will enable us to work more with other partners in the UK and overseas who are also engaged in plant conservation.
Phil Cunliffe, BBC North West Tonight, Chester Zoo.
Really lovely. A lot of those plants will not have liked the weather today, though, Molly. Very
Certainly
chilly.
Not. No. In fact, we've had snow on higher ground today. We had accumulations last night. This was sent in from Pendle Hill at around 3 o'clock today. We had further wintry showers, but actually some bright spells as well, and more of that in abundance tomorrow. Thank you for your pictures. You can send your own in. All the details are behind me. Now, we do have a yellow weather warning for ice in place for parts of south northwest, so mainly Cheshire, Merseyside and Greater Manchester. That warning will expire at 10 a.m. tomorrow, but it's going to be a widely cold night all round, I think. Some cloud burning away, mostly clear and dry overnight, but those clear spells meaning temperatures are going to plummet. We could see potentially -6 in the likes of Shap in Cumbria, but largely sub-zero across the board with a widespread frost tomorrow morning. Potentially some icy stretches first thing as well, depending on where you are, so do take care on untreated surfaces. But look at that for Valentine's Day. Plenty of sunshine in the forecast. As we head towards the afternoon, we will see that sun get a little bit more hazy and cloud will start to form into the evening. But we should have a really lovely day for Valentine's Day with highs of around 7 degrees Celsius, but short-lived romance, I'm afraid. We have a further snow and ice warning in the forecast for Saturday night into Sunday, Annabelle.
Never mind.
Yeah.
But as Mary Grassi, she sent us a beautiful weather photo in, and she says we're getting lighter evenings, which is true,
Exactly,
of course.
after 5 o'clock now.
Yes,
So
really nice.
lovely.
Thanks for watching. Enjoy your evening. Bye-bye.